In 10 Eyewitness News, first at 5.
Exclusive pictures of a dramatic chase by police in Bardon netting 3 fugitives. 2 nurses were subjected to a terrifying morning.
What's happening to teenagers?
First at 5. This is 10 Eyewitness News with Glenn Taylor and Marie-Louise Thiel.
I woke up and he had a screwdriver at my throat and just said he wanted to get away.
Tonight, frightened but quick thinking, 2 Brisbane women drive a suspect into the arms of the law. Exclusive pictures.
Good evening, I'm Marie-Louise Thiel.
And I'm Glenn Taylor. Dramatic scenes in suburban Brisbane as 3 criminal suspects, including a prison escapee, went on a wild rampage. Eyewitness News chief cameraman Steve O'Farrell was there exclusively when police hauled one of the men from his hideaway, a car boot. Police reporter Tony Fabris follows the fugitives' trail.
A potentially explosive situation. Police have a suspected armed bandit bailed up in a car boot. Not knowing if he has a weapon drawn, police move in.
You want the dog, me, or the gun? Unarmed, out. Now, out. There you go, baby. Down, on the ground. On the ground. Good boy.
The arrest brought to an end a terrifying morning for 2 nurses. The man had broken into Leanne Borman's home and grabbed her.
And he had a screwdriver at my throat and just said he wanted to get away.
Leanne's friend Caitlin Conroy arrived and the frightened pair hatched a simple plan.
And I said, well, you can go in the boot so that he wouldn't be able to see where we were going. Because I knew there were police here. On my way down, I'd seen them all. So we put him in the boot so he had no idea. We said we're taking him to a cab rank and just came straight up here to the police and just jumped out and said he's in the boot.
Pretty good thinking.
Yeah. Strange for us. Strange, yeah.
As their tormentor was taken away, a defiant yell. The drama had begun earlier when a car sped through a radar trap in Bardon and was hotly pursued by police. The runaway car smashed head first into a 4-wheel drive vehicle being test-driven by George Shue.
We are very frightened, astonished and frightened.
3 men then fled the Ford Falcon, sparking a massive police hunt around the foothills of Mount Cootha. Inside the crashed vehicle, a shotgun, sparking fears the fugitives had just pulled off an armed robbery and were desperate. In the air, the Eyewitness News helicopter with a policeman on board helped search for the trio. An exhausted officer called for backup as a particularly fast suspect ran off.
He still hasn't crossed over into the cemetery.
Residents were ordered to stay in their homes as police searched the yard. The orders to stay calm came from a makeshift command post. And then success. The first of the trio was captured. Soon after, arrest number 2 as the fleet-footed suspect was pinned down. Amazed residents watched as he was bundled away.
This is the only time there's been any excitement in 20-odd years that I've lived here.
The boot arrest followed, and all 3 were apprehended. This suspect told the nurses he was an escapee.
He just escaped from wake home and he just wanted to go. There was 2 others, didn't know where they were.
The 3 men were brought here to the Gap police station where they were over a drive-by shooting at Rob Lee overnight. They also faced numerous burglary charges. Tony Fabris, 10 Eyewitness News.
Tonight, suspects captured after a wild suburban chase.
Quick-thinking residents helped police capture a prison escapee during a wild chase through Brisbane's inner west this afternoon. It was like a scene from a movie as armed police, backed by spotter helicopters, rounded up 3 men after they ran a radar trap.
It was a short-lived high-speed chase. Driving this stolen Ford, the 3 bandits tried to outrun a motorcycle cop but lost control and rammed into an oncoming car. The driver was in the middle of his driving test.
Just out for a driving test, are you? Yes. Bit of a hard test, this one.
The Chinese motorist had no idea of what was happening.
Just testing, I was very astonished.
A shotgun was found in the boot. There were 3 rounds of ammunition, 1 round already spent. From here, the three spread out on foot. Two of them took off into the bushland behind me. One of them broke into a suburban home and attempted to abduct an off-duty nurse. Still shaking with fear, Leanne Bowman told how she was asleep when he broke into her bedroom.
I just woke up from night duty and he was above me in my bed with a screwdriver.
Her friend Caitlin Conroy arrived soon after. He screamed at them to hide him in the boot and drive him to freedom. Instead, they delivered him to the police.
He was just scared and he just wanted to get to a taxi rank so he could get away.
The 18-year-old was an escapee. He'd run from Wacol Prison last Saturday.
What we live for! Yeah!
Dozens of police spread out around Bardon to catch the remaining pair. Guns drawn, they crawled through thick bush, tightening the net. Then, a sighting.
Behind the house of Birdwood Terrace.
He was spotted by the Channel 7 chopper walking openly down the street, ready to give himself up. A lone uniformed officer closed in, gun drawn, shouting instructions to put his arms in the air, then lay on the ground. A neighbour saw it all.
They stopped and called out to him to get down on the ground, and he put his arms out and then he lay down on the ground out here. And this is the only time there's been any excitement in 20-odd years that I've lived here.
He was taken away for questioning at the Gap CIB. Moments later, another sighting. Police sprinted in to collect the last offender, an emotional 17-year-old. All three will appear in court tomorrow. Chris Reason, 7 Nightly News.